Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela from Bake Angel. Now normally I make allergy friendly baking recipes and share decorating tips as well, but today I thought we would do something a little different and actually talk about some new vegan chocolate that is available here in Canada. Now last week I actually did a review of the Cadbury plant bar chocolate that is available here as well. But I wanted to try the Lindt ones as well because I know this is such a popular brand throughout the world, and it's great to see another big brand jumping on the bandwagon to actually do some allergy friendly and vegan chocolate. Now the first thing you'll notice about this one is I have two different types here. They do actually sell an original one, salted caramel, and a hazelnut one as well, but I actually chose not to try the hazelnut because I am slightly allergic to them. So I wanted to stick to two that I knew would be okay with my particular food allergies. And as you can see right away from the packaging, this chocolate is oat based, which I know for a lot of people might be good if you have other particular allergies that you want to stay away from in chocolate. Let's have a look at the ingredients first for the plain one. Now you can see here it has sugar, it has oat powder, which makes it gluten-free, then it has cocoa butter, almond, cocoa mass, soy lecithin, and flavor. Now, of course, there is a may contain warning here as well, which means that they do actually make this in a facility that uses these allergens, but it shouldn't be in this product itself. So if you're okay with cross-contamination warnings like we are, this chocolate should be okay for you. It's also got the nutritional information as well. So it's saying that a 30-gram serving would be about 170 calories. And if I turn this over, you're actually getting a 100-gram bar here. So that's saying that there's about 3 servings per bar of chocolate, which doesn't seem too unrealistic. Now let's talk about the price point of this before we open it up. I actually paid $3.99 for each of these in our local Walmart. They were on sale at the time, and they do normally retail here for about $5. So a $3.99 in Canadian dollars, that works out as $2.95 US dollars, and that's about just over £2.50 in the UK. Again, not that bad really, and pretty much what you would pay for this size of regular chocolate bar that has dairy in it. So it's nice that we're not actually paying extra to buy a vegan alternative, and that's always a plus point for me. Let's go ahead and open this one up then. So it comes in a nice cardboard package, very typical of the Lindt chocolate if you've ever bought any of their chocolate before. Then it's got that foil on top of it as well with the nice Lindt design on it. Let's open this up. Okay, so you can see this one's actually broken, but no problem. I mean, we're going to break it up to eat it anyway, but it is all sectioned out into easy breakable pieces. Let's do the snap test. Well, it's got a bit of a snap, to be honest, and compared to the Cadbury's chocolate from last week, not actually as much of a snap as that. It does feel quite soft as well, and on my fingers it feels like it may melt quite easily, so it's just a different consistency of chocolate all in all. You can see it crumbles quite easily as well, but it does actually smell really, really good. So on first impression, I think it looks great, smells great. And for the price point as well, it's actually really, really good. Let's pop this one to one side, and then we'll go and look at the salted caramel one. Now again, this was the same price, so I paid $4 Canadian for this. It's got oat-based chocolate on the front again, but obviously the difference here is that it has pieces of salted caramel in it. Now, if you watched last week's video, you'll know I was really excited about the salted caramel dairy milk equivalent, and that actually tasted a lot more realistic than the plain one. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a similar experience. Looking at the back again, we've got sugars, we've got oat powder, cocoa butter, almonds, cocoa mass, salt, soy lecithin, and flavor, and the same cross-contamination warnings as well. The nutrition is obviously a little bit different because it's got that salted caramel in it. but it's still saying that you've got 9 pieces or 30 grams per serving. So again, you're getting about 3 servings per bar. Let's open it up. Now this one straight away, you can see there is a little bit of texture in it. Obviously that's from the salted caramel pieces. It's broken as well, which is a shame. I guess that's something that you get when it's in this kind of packaging, if it gets tossed around in the store and things. But honestly, you're going to break it apart to eat it, so I don't get too hung up on that. Let's do that snap test again. Pretty good. Actually, I think it's better than the previous one. And I'm not sure if you can see this. Let's zoom in. You can see ever so slightly those little pieces of caramel here. So I'm guessing that they run through it just like in our previous Cadbury video as well. And as with the plain original one as well, it's got the Lindt logo in here. It's all kind of sectioned out for you, so it's really easy to break apart. Again, it does feel kind of, I don't know, kind of feels like it would melt really, really easily too. So again, smells good, looks good. Last thing we need to do then is obviously do the taste test. I will quickly just pop some of the original one in the microwave though, just to see what it melts like. I'm obviously interested to see what this would be like to use as like a chocolate sauce on cupcakes, on cakes as well, and ice cream, because it's really nice if you can find a good dairy-free ice cream that you like to be able to put some chocolate sauce on it. So let me grab a bowl and then we'll quickly do the microwave test. So we'll just pop a few pieces. I'm going to break up whole pieces actually. Let's do 6. And let's pop them in the microwave, we'll say, probably for about 45 seconds and see what it turns out like. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and microwaved the original chocolate. Let's take a look. At 45 seconds, it actually wasn't that melted, so I did it for a little bit longer. This is about just a minute. And, well, let's see. It actually looks quite bitty, to be honest with you. Seems to have quite a bit of a weird consistency to it, if you can see that here. There's lots of little lumps in it, so let's give it a stir. So you can see clearly this doesn't melt very well at all. The Cadbury bars that we melted last week actually melted phenomenally well. I was actually really impressed with it and felt that it almost melted just like you would expect regular dairy chocolate to, but for whatever reason this is quite bitty. Yeah, I don't know what to think of that, guys. It almost as if there are bits in the chocolate, and I guess we haven't tasted it yet, so maybe when we taste it there'll be some kind of logical explanation for that. But honestly, it hasn't melted to that smooth chocolate consistency that you would expect. I'm not sure I would actually be able to use this as a drizzle on cupcakes. I mean, you could use it on ice cream if you weren't too concerned about the little lumps in it, but it honestly smells a little like if you microwaved it for any longer, it would possibly burn. So a bit of a thumbs down for it as far as the melt test goes. Last thing we're going to do though is taste test it and see what it tastes like compared to real chocolate. Okay, so let's do the taste test of the chocolate. We are going to start with the original first. So this is the one that we just melted. Let's try it. Let's see if there's any explanation for the graininess in it when we melted it. Okay, so flavor-wise, it's actually quite creamy. You can tell it's vegan chocolate though. There's definitely that distinct vegan chocolate flavor, that it doesn't have that sort of richness that you normally get in dairy chocolate. But as somebody that can't eat dairy chocolate anymore, I'm okay with that. Like, it's a trade-off at the end of the day to make sure that I can eat something that's safe for me. With regards to the texture, so this is that melted chocolate again. Now when you eat it, there's no sense of reason why there would be texture to it when you melt it, because you don't get that coming through when you actually eat the chocolate on its own. So I'm really intrigued as to why it did that. Let's go over to the caramel one though. So again, this is the one that's got the little bits of salted caramel in it. Let's give it a try. Okay, so that one has got texture like you would expect it to, because it's got those little tiny pieces of salted caramel in it, like it shows on the packaging here. I like it. I mean, it's pretty good. It's actually got a slightly better flavour than the original one, and I think that's similar to the plant-based Cadbury one, that the salted caramel just kind of elevates it a little bit. Maybe the thing I would comment about this is because it's oat-based, it does feel like it's missing something. Obviously it's missing dairy, but as far as vegan chocolate goes, there are some out there that are able to replicate that flavour of dairy chocolate, like the Cadbury one from our last video. This one, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of almost there, but they could maybe tweak it and make it a little bit better. Maybe it needs a little bit more salt or something in it to enhance the flavour. But it's not bad, and like I say, I'm always a little more forgiving of vegan chocolate because you're never going to get that exact taste that you would in, say, a bar of Cadbury dairy milk. So let's think score-wise for the original. I'm going to give it 5 out of 10, guys. It's not my favourite. Definitely not the worst vegan chocolate that I've tried, but for a Lindt bar, I think I had higher expectations. So 5 out of 10 for this one. For the salted caramel, maybe 7 out of 10. I think it's definitely a lot closer to what I would be looking for. I think if I had to choose between this one and the Cadbury one, I would choose the Cadbury one every time. It definitely was creamier. And again, I think that's got a lot to do with the fact that this is an oat-based rather than an almond base, which would naturally have a bit more of a creamier sort of flavour to it. But again, not bad. I'm actually just really happy that more and more companies are coming up with vegan chocolate for us. So let me know in the comments below if you've tried these yet. If you have, what do you think of them? Or maybe if you are just curious to see what vegan chocolate is like. You can also buy these on the Lindt website as well. So I'll pop the link in the description below for those if you wanted to pick these up. As I said, I got these from Walmart, and you can get them from a lot of grocery stores too. So definitely shop around, try them when they're on sale, because they're not that bad. It's definitely worth it if you just have a little chocolate craving and you want something that is safe for you if you can't have dairy. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll be back soon with more baking videos, and until then, make sure you check out the rest of the content on my channel and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.